Welcome everyone to another EOS Talk on the Beyond Bitcoin Network. Today is Saturday, August 11th, 2018, and I am Official Fuzzy, and I'm going to be moderating the discussion tonight. We have these EOS Talks every week live. You can join them directly from EOSTalk.io by clicking on the Discord server that we have right in the left-hand corner, left-hand side of the actual forums. These forums are an MVP of what we are able to do. They currently run on the Steam blockchain, and they are going to eventually be given their own chain in an attempt to make them a decentralized block producer and or side chain to EOS. And for the state, we will call it the EOS bit chain, but it will be EOS Talk, and all forums, any bits of information about EOS will be able to be related there. So what you guys see us doing every week is just starting off doing initiatives using tokens in ways that very rarely will you see in crypto these tokens being used. And we use them to empower initiatives and cool things that we think are important in the space. And we also do it to empower a community of people who, like you, might not necessarily be a coder, but you might have something else that you'd like to do that's valuable, like share content on social media or do artwork, or maybe you want to make some memes or doing some funny things. We cover that entire gamut because we recognize that the community on the grassroots, all of you have value. And all we have to do is teach you guys and remind you the value that you have. So we have these initiatives, we use these forums, and we use this stuff to show you every week that we are doing this today. None of this is vaporware. And despite the fact that there's problems with the RAM markets at times and that we're not quite sure all of the how all of the bandwidth is going to work and all those things, in these times of uncertainty, we do have technology that is tested, strong, and works for delegated proof of stake, this technology, and also can provide, let's say, a free speech zone where it's impossible to really censor everything and makes it obvious that you are the one who produced your content and can actually potentially be rewarded through it. Now, with that said, we always join up and we have these discussions. We do go through a couple things. I don't want to go through Blocktivity tonight, because this is going to be relatively short tonight. But I do want to mention that throughout the week, I've been listening to people. I listen to other people talk about EOS throughout the week because I'm kind of a fan of listening to see, you know, who's serious about it, who's always talking about going to the moon, figuring out who the EOS talkers are, who I can really appreciate. And one of the things that I've been noticing is that something else that we started here in EOS Talks was showing off Blocktivity.info. And this is becoming a very powerful thing that I'm starting to see pop up in more and more videos. And I want to thank all of you who are making content and showing that site, because once again, you're recognizing what we've been saying this entire time, which is extremely important. These metrics on the Blocktivity.info site are the metrics that actually show you the true value of blockchains. And it also helps you to measure other blockchains against the technology that we're using today and that we're planning on using in the future. So with that said, not go too deep into it. Let's not go too deep into the forums right now. I want to just real quick open up for Power Picks to discuss a little bit about the past week's initiatives, because he is the community managing initiative editor, master, dungeon master, however you want to call yourself, I guess, Power Picks. But I'll go ahead and I'll step back and I'll let you step up to give your updates, man.
All right. Dungeon Master. Sounds good, I guess. Yeah, so, last week we had talked about the Tokens for Tweets campaign we did, which was to help spread the word about the EOS 888 campaign with Thomas Koch for stress testing. So we had a lot of people take part in that, so I wanted to thank everyone for that. That initiative's over. But we did have a lot of participation spreading the word on that, so I thank everyone. This week we have our initiative running right now. Like I said, a lot of things are going to be focusing around our whale shares platform that's launching next week. Simply because it is launching next week, so we have a lot of initiatives kind of around that. But the main one we have running right now is for anyone who is good at graphic design and art, can come in and help us make some promotional artwork for the whale shares chain. We're looking for, kind of high quality stuff, not memes or anything funny this time around, but actual artwork that we can use to promote the website once it launches on social medias, and use the art in our other campaigns coming up, like tokens for tweets and tokens for likes and shares on Facebook and stuff. We're going to do some grassroots kind of a guerrilla marketing on the other social media platforms once we get rolling. So we're looking for artwork for that. And what's unique about this contest this week is the prizes are not the standard EOS bits or Beyond bits. It is actually going to be a basket of whale tokens. And these are tokens that are similar to whale shares, Beyond bits, and EOS bits, but they are from other people in the community who are making tokens that are backed by their own whale stake, their power within the new platform launching, to help reward people in the community. So we have a mix of tokens that are actually going to be given out, 5 different ones, and it is a substantial prize. So you'll be able to use these to reward your posts, or even reward them for other people's posts if you want to use them that way on the new platform when it launches. So we definitely want you guys to get involved. We've supplied the artwork for the logo and the title text for whale shares to help you out there in high quality. And if you got the skills, please swing by and help us out. We do not have a tokens for tweets to go along with this contest this week, simply because when the contest ends on the pre-launch day next week, we're going to do a separate kind of tweeting campaign using the artwork that wins in this challenge. We'll have that artwork available for people to choose their favorites from the top 5, and actually go ahead and tweet those out to announce the launch of the website next week. So again, if you have the art skills, come on and help us out and draft up some fun artwork for us. That's what we got going right now, Fuzz.
Yeah, there's a couple things there. There's the first one, which was Thomas Cox. Bob Cox is somebody else that I know, who actually taught me about space-time. We won't get into that though. But Thomas Cox and the 888 initiative, and obviously people were out there like trying to play games and do some stuff to increase the number of transactions on the network. But it just seemed like we didn't. I won't say that we were low at any point in time as far as the number of transactions and operations on the EOS chain, but it definitely was not, record-breaking, mind-blowing experience. So what I'm thinking more and more is maybe we need to do something like this, like every couple weeks or every month or something like that. So it's a repetitive thing where people rarely forget about it, and more often than not, more people end up knowing about it, every week, and being added to the group of people who are participating in those events. If people know of any of these various dApps out there that might require a lot of operations to run them, please let us know. Please post it to EOS Talk. Please reach out to me on Discord. You can do that from the forums too. But we need to know the dApps that are going to be using a lot of operations, or aka transactions, however you're going to look at it. And the reason for that is, I think if we look at these and we identify them, we might even be able to get some community initiatives. Things like, where you play video games against each other, or, maybe win at Battlestar Galactica or whatever it was. What is it? Galaga. Is that what it is? The one where you go pew, 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 and you like shoot those little...
Yeah, it's Galaga.
Galaga, thank you. Because we have games like that. Maybe we can do some things like that to help with that, because I don't think it's going to be a one-time event that's going to do it. And I believe that we got a pretty good turnout on the tokens for tweets, despite the fact that it didn't really seem to budge the transactions.
Yeah, we definitely got a good response, but Thomas brought it to us a little bit close. So we didn't have really a full, weeks amount of time ahead of time to get the word out from our team. But we had a lot of people that actually participated and tweeted it out there. But I think it was just so close to the actual August 8th date that we didn't really have, time to get too much reach.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, that's great. Crazy that there's 60 to 80 people every time. And I think we're building that army up, and I will continue extending that to Thomas, anybody who is working hard on the ecosystem. If they reach out to us and I like what they're doing, or I trust what they're doing, we're more than interested in potentially doing things like this for them too. But I will say this, yeah, it was a little bit, didn't give us quite, we probably could have done with like 10 days or 7 days. But, there's always in the future. So maybe I'll let him know that, and we can fix that in the future and maybe give us some more time for that front. With that said, whale shares. I do want to mention this because this is something I think is very important to recognize. Dan created the idea of mutual aid societies in the earliest days of BitShares, actually. And the idea of mutual aid societies, he called them mucksters at the time, was essentially to give communities the ability to reward one another, find consensus on things, and use the blockchain ledger to form a structured society around it that rewards whatever the founding members of that community and the citizens of that community feel are important. He always has them open sourced, and you can do with them what you believe is important. So what we did was Whale Shares was created as a cross-chain token platform. Beyond Bits and Whale Shares obviously work on Steam, but they also are going to work on their own platform now. So people can make their own community tokens. They can do all those things there, and we will be able to reward you on both Steam and the Whale Shares platform. But we're also going to have something called the Whale Tank. And I suspect that as you hear, people who listen to this, you're more than welcome to use these ideas and leverage the Whale Shares platform too, if you want to. But we're going to have the Whale Tank, and we're going to bring people together into the Whale Tank. People who are the whales in the ecosystem with their own coins are going to join up, and we're going to allow people to join up, basically have a Shark Tank type episode, hangout, and we're going to let them pitch their projects. And we are targeting EOS as one of the platforms where we want to do this. In return for share drops, we can potentially give funding for things like this. And of course, we are a chain that is very much into the idea of cross-chain synergy, rather the community is. So I really look forward to seeing where we take this and how many dApps we can potentially fund. Maybe we can help even fund EOS Talk to be built into a better engine for what we're planning for it too. And one other thing I will say is, I have to plug it. Project Milkbox will be built using Whale Shares as a platform. And that is going to be a DAC that is going to be made to essentially enable people to put money into, or put tokens into escrow for bounties on finding missing loved ones, and can even use their locked away vesting stake in that escrow fund to reward people who are helping them find that person that is the loved one and missing. So with that said, we're trying to do cool things here, and we're trying to show people that we don't want just one chain to rule them all. We want a republic of chains, a democratic republic of chains. We want to have a whole net, an internet of chains. And we will, of course, have big cities, like thriving big cities like EOS, right? Where it's essentially like all kinds of commerce goes there. But we're also going to need other different ones too, right? That are sovereign and able to stand on their own if need be. Obviously, working together with these chains will be voluntary and should be done whenever possible. But we want those connections to be voluntary. And we want there to be something where we have, or at least I do, that's why I'm here, that we want to have multiple blockchains thriving, especially based on our tech, right? With that said, I really quickly wanted to get into something tonight, and I'm glad because I was going to talk a little bit about how we're planning to add some ads to the website itself, to the EOS Talk Forum. So if you don't mind, Iron Monkey, would you guys mind if we can pull up the picture that Iron Monkey has with the areas where we're going to start looking at putting ads? I'd like your opinions, guys. Anybody who's here who's looking at the slide, if you can look at it and tell us, if there are any spots where you don't think that ads should be, or any spots where you definitely think ads would be, I think it would be helpful. I personally like the ones that are above and below the forums. I like to keep the price and the place for the images there, but we don't use the images quite enough yet. So I guess that's kind of up to the community. Maybe we can put that up to a vote during the after party or something. Because I would like to see what everybody thinks about it.
Yeah, because even Fuzzy, think about when the site switches over to its own chain and stuff, and we'll have some minor redesign and stuff. Things like the images and the archive stuff could always be thrown in the top bar next to the the homepage, EOStalk.io link. We can have a place up there for archives, images, things like that people can quickly jump to where we need to see them. So, the ad space could be used on the side or any other area.
Yeah, that's a good point. We could have like a drop down bar right there where it shows the exact same things right in that list. It's a good point. So we could have that. Now, what do you guys think about one of the things that I was thinking was letting people potentially advertise their own posts from the forums. Like if they have a specific post, to actually have it so that post is advertised. Do you guys like that idea, or do you guys think that we should stick just to advertisements about like DApps and things like that?
Hey, Fuzzy, I'll just point out that this is a very basic mock based off of that landing page, I guess the homepage for EOSTalk.io. So there are those subpages. Once you drill down into like any of the forum listings, the page gets a little bit different. So let's say that you're looking at the general page. That could be a completely different set of ads. Right now, since traffic isn't huge, it's sort of set up so that these are just run of site ads, but it could be set up in a way where block producer pages could be targeted with one set of ads. General could have its own separate target. Maybe there's a developer channel that gets different targeting. So yeah, this is just super basic, all run of site, but we can target any of those channels. The other thing that I'll mention is that these sizes were chosen because they fit into the current template. That top slot would be great if you could have what's called a billboard, and those are a little bit larger, so folks can do something really nice. If they've got great artwork, it's a really good way to tell a story with those bigger formats. But these are minimal because I didn't want to like jam it up too much. And I don't know if you want this many ads on a page. It could be distracting too, right? There's also units that are called sticky. So as you scroll down, the page will move and the unit will just stay there. So maybe something like that would be cool too.
Yeah, I like that you can have the banner, the billboard type of thing. What I'm also thinking is we could almost have art competitions and stuff like that, community based, just to get art for things like this for different projects potentially. So I see a lot of things that we can maybe even do that would bring more to our initiatives, like create more synergy there.
Oh, absolutely. It's a great way to get the community involved.
I wonder if people would end up paying us at some point in time for saying, oh, they put up ads. Okay, we're also going to do tokens for tweets for them from our forums. And we're also going to do a meme challenge and give them a bunch of memes that our community created for them. These are the types of things that I think would be huge. I also liked the point that you make regarding we don't have to go overboard on the front page, because you can actually have in the sub sections of the forum, you can have advertisements when you go into those areas in each individual post too. And those subsections of the forum, based on the content types that they have, you can even have direct advertising there. I think that would be helpful as well. So I'm kind of pumped. I didn't know that we could go that deep with that. But if we can do that, I think that would be wonderful, because then if you think about it, you have, like, for instance, we have support there. Well, if we could advertise things that are showing documentation, education, all that stuff, right? And then we have things like meetups. We could show dApps for meetups and different meetups that are going on. Yeah, I love it. You call them promotional spots instead of ads. Sounds better. Good point, PowerPix. Maybe I shouldn't read that out. But good point, man. Very good point.
One of the things that I was thinking, Fuzzy, is that in that top slot, if there was a billboard there and that was the only ad unit that you saw when you got to the homepage, it could have a subtitle that says, hey, this forum is sponsored by, and let's use EOS New York as the example, right? And then they get that big spot all to themselves on that front page. YouTube has a similar ad format. If you go to the YouTube homepage, it's called a masthead. And those start at like $1 million a day, and you just get it for one day, and that's it.
Oh, so we'll get $1 million a day on this? Great.
Totally.
Totally. I'm glad that you play around with that. And actually, okay. So you're saying that whenever you go to the main site, having a video that plays right there it's called the masthead, and that's like the premium slot to have.
Yeah, typically in those larger units, especially on YouTube, they'll have video, they'll be interactive. So, it's as fancy as you want it to be. And yeah, PowerPix is on the money there. If it's sponsored, right, it shows that the community is contributing to funding this project, right? So everybody has a place to come and talk. And then it sounds less like an advertisement and more like PBS television, right?
Yeah, I like that. And that's kind of what we were trying to stick with. We want that kind of feel too. Dip schlappers. Sorry for saying it wrong. Not that I think you care. Ads look great. I don't think I'm alone in loathing scrolling sticky ads. It's a good point. I think the one sticky ad that I've ever seen that I didn't mind so much was one of the little squares in the bottom right-hand corner. Those ones don't bother me too much, but I do see where you're coming from. Is there a reason why we would want sticky ads to you ad experts?
So for those sub pages that you'll have like 25 posts there, it's a whole lot of blank space as you scroll down the page. So if the ad stays there, then that ad has, constant eyeballs on it. The other thing I'll mention is that you wouldn't necessarily put any kind of ad there, right? So you're not going to have like, this is the secret to lose weight. Like, nobody wants to see that. But if it's a cool project that the EOS community would be interested in, then yeah, for sure, leave the sticky ad there.
No, by all means, continue. It's a good point. I don't think of these things because I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never been for the whole concept of like advertising in terms of, you see what we do. We do grassroots type of advertising things. Like it's almost not even advertising, even though it is. It's more almost like filling your war chest with things that you can use for advertising, But of course, we can also rally the community when we need to. We just have to keep it for important events and things that we think are extremely important for it, right? But it's good to hear some of this. Does anybody have any questions or comments that they'd like to bring up regarding what we're talking about? Anybody not want ads? I'm kind of interested in thoughts on that.
I don't think that ads are necessarily a bad thing. The only time that ads bother me are the ones that you have to like click out of, and you try to click out of them and they reroute you somewhere else, and then you can't go the place that you were trying to go, and then you have to re-log in and whatever. So as long as they're off to the side to where you don't have to click out of them to read what you're trying to read, they don't normally become a problem for me.
It's a good point, though. You know what, Power Pigs? That makes me think of an Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode. We'll get into it.
Those are what you would call spray and pray ads. When folks buy those, they buy them in the millions, like millions and millions of ad impressions, because if you get a 0.5%, which is probably a lot, if you get like a 0.1% of people clicking on them, you can make your money back.
Yeah, which seems kind of crazy because it seems like the way that you get that exposure really kind of emits a level of trust or distrust, which is why I would imagine people probably generally don't click on ads like that.
Yeah, but look at who that's targeting. Like, congratulations, you won. You know, they're trying to sucker people into it, like a free ringtone. Come on, man.
Yeah, or grandma, your computer has a virus. Click here and install this, and then it will have a virus.
Now it has 2 viruses.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to make one more point.
Sure.
So you didn't mention this, Fuzz, but when you and I originally spoke about this, putting ads on the site is not to get rich. It's just to help fund the project and be able to do more things. I don't think anybody is looking to make a killing off of putting ads onto the EOS forums.
No, but you know, one of the things that I really do believe is that anything that we can do to help get certain people who are interested in the forums able to promote posts and things like that. I think if we're sticking to our demographic, which is people who are in the space right now, who are into EOS and things like that, like in our community especially, I think we're in a good spot, or things that they would like at the very least. But I would say one of the big things that I would really like to see is the ability to promote posts. Because if we can promote posts on the forums, then people can use Mazdax. Even if they post to Medium, they could post to our forums directly from Mazdax too, and post to Medium at the same time. It wouldn't be any harder for them, really. So we could do that and have them posting to our forums and even, linking to our forums, which of course backlinks would be helpful for the forums too. So I think we've got a lot of potential value there. And that's not even talking about what I want to do and what I'm waiting for. And if any of you guys know of games that come out that we can maybe plug in user experience so you can actually play them in our forums at some point, keep us up to date on that. Keep me up to date on that. I will be using some of my resources to add that stuff if I can find people who want to help. With that said, I don't think that I have too many more things to say other than I guess it's a bear market. I don't know that we're going too much lower, but I will say that I've mentioned before that we could go down to 5,000 Bitcoin. I don't know that we're going to go very much lower in EOS. I don't see how we do. Maybe we do, but I think that it's looking pretty good right now on that front. Don't be careful with your money, guys. But right now, I would not be selling all of your EOS and all your cryptocurrencies thinking that bad things are coming. I think we've got the brunt of it over. I'm not saying we won't see some more pain at some point, but I think overall this is nothing compared to, fluctuations from 25 cents to $3 or $4. and back down. You know, like I was making a joke before we even started, Bitcoin is actually less volatile than it was when I started years ago, I guess. I keep for some reason thinking it's 10, but almost 10, I guess now. But yeah, we're actually less volatile than we were before, so everything's not crashing down. I think you're going to see some more pumps in the future. Just be smart about it and don't fall for the FUD. Don't fall for all the clickbait propaganda, all those different things that are trying to get your emotions up. Should probably be wary of. Now, with that said, does anybody have anything they'd like to finish on before?
Yeah, if you want to go over the post-reward info screens on EOSTalk.io as well.
Oh yeah, let's please do that real quick. I did want to show everybody, whenever you're on the forum, I'll wait for it to be pulled up if you can.
Yeah.
Go to the forums, and you'll go and you'll look at, as you look at the forums here in a post, you'll see that there's a little square on the right-hand top corner of every post where you can actually see, it's like a thumbs up. You can click on there and you can open it up and you can see the statistics of everybody who's voted on you, how much they've voted on you. Of course, you know, you can see it if you're looking here. You'll go into, for power picks, just go into any of them. Just go into developers or block producers, go in there. And then while you're in there, when it doesn't, go ahead and go into the Dawn release. And you can actually see how many people upvoted it. Now go ahead and click on there. It'll pop up a nice little window. You go up to that little hand, yep, up in the top right-hand corner. 483 votes. You're going to click on that, and it'll pull up a screen. It'll show a visualization. So what I'm thinking is we're not too far away from being able to let people potentially upvote and downvote things on here, and actually show statistically what the community thinks about things. I just wanted to show everybody some of these things that are built in right now. And of course, I greatly appreciate you guys all taking the time tonight. I wanted to make sure that you all know that normally we have a little bit more to talk about. Obviously, right now is a bear market. There's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes, but it's, you know, pretty much everywhere in crypto right now is lackluster. With that said, though, there's obviously a lot of good things that are coming on EOS. There's a lot of share drops that have already happened. Veripedia has launched. There's some good things, some good news, right? But a lot of it is the same stuff we talk about every week, which is our cryptocurrencies literally hold the transactions for all other cryptocurrencies. So BitShares alone, EOS alone, Steam alone, Whale Shares alone, all of these chains, any of them could do the transactions for all the other cryptocurrencies. So I don't know what else to say. We can talk about that every week, but I think instead we focus on the tools to you guys to create your own EOS. Gotcha, Ram. I gotcha. We're just going to continue building tools, adding to the user experiences for things. And if anybody knows people who are wanting to help with projects like this, let them know to reach out to me. As we go, we're going to be giving stake to the people who help us with this. I want to have a fourth estate to EOS. I want to give it to EOS people. I want to give it to them in a way that is fair, that represents the community, but doesn't put the whales in total control. So those of you who've been earning EOS bits, I think you're going to be very happy. But I do want to let you know, as we move forward, all these things that we're doing are going to be there to enable you to use them as a template and do your own EOS talks. That's why you don't see me doing live broadcast shows like, big deal shows it's just, all of our effort goes into that, because what we're focused on right now is building these tools. We've been focused on it for a long, long time. So I'm thankful for everybody who's helped me. So all of you out there, you know who you are. You've made a lot of this possible, because obviously I can't do it alone. And these Maz chains that are going to be coming, they're going to be an army of different DACs. And then, of course, EOS is going to be, it's going to be one of the biggest things that's come to crypto ever, right? And these networks that are coming, like Warbly, all these different use cases that are coming, they're going to be big. So we need infrastructure, and we need to help them to be able to build those things in a place where they don't always have to worry about bandwidth, right? Where they don't always have to worry about everything else that goes along with EOS. There are some things that are necessary to be off-chain at times. And I think that right now, EOS Talk is one of those. Now, with that said, you don't have to agree with me, but not tooting my horn, I haven't been wrong on too many of these things yet. So with that said, thank you guys, everybody, though, for being part of this. Thank you for those of you who do pay attention, who don't fall for the FUD and the moon talk. We're going to get where we're going. I just don't want to blow up rockets on the way to the moon. I do think we're going there, though. And I look forward to being there with you guys when it happens. So with that said, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you guys at the after party and, of course, next Saturday.